What is up, everybody? Welcome back. It's your favorite director's favorite director, and in the famous words of Alison De Laurentiis.
Did you miss me?
Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your mental health? I hope you're finding peace in this crazy, crazy world, especially right now. I know what I said. And I promise I have Gabby Petito. It is queued up, okay? I am finishing the final edits for it. I've already released that episode on my Patreon. Please do not hurt me. However, there have been some really big changes in my life, one of which is that I have opened up love readings. I call them love lessons with the Love Oracle. You know, the name is working. The name is being worked on. However, I am all about it. Obviously, for forever, I've been the spiritual director, and that is still very, very true. Everything I do is from the highest place that I can do it from, especially when I'm watching film, especially when I'm watching movies. These are important to me. However, I am kind of segueing into these love lessons watching, by the title you should be able to guess, Love is Blind. Mostly because I got beef with this show, and I've had beef with this show for a very long time, but that's besides the point. We'll talk about that in a second. The love lessons are for anybody who is ready for true love. I'm a firm believer that we all have access to love, that it is just a predisposition that our souls know no better than to love, but sometimes we need a little bit of guidance when it comes to love, and that's what I'm here for. So if you want to book a session, you can find all of that information down below in the details. But that was like a big change, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. So for the next couple of days, that's what you'll be getting, a lot of love reactions, just because it's like padding my resume. But outside of that though, I'm going to be reacting as the spiritual director because that's who I am through and through, but I'm also the Love Oracle and a lot of other things. So yeah, so we'll be doing that. I think that'll be fun. I think that I'm excited. I'm excited to help people on this journey. I'm excited for people to feel what it feels like to know true love. And here's a little free lesson for you. True love starts with loving yourself first. I know. And I can elaborate on that for you more. And I probably will, especially because we're watching Love is Blind. Is love blind? No, it is not. And we'll get into that as well. But before we do that, you know the drill. If you want to know what I'm posting, if you want to know what's going on in my life, if you want to know anything about me, literally anything at all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Other than that, we're going to jump into Love is Blind. I'm going to try to knock out 3 episodes. I'm going to try. Is that going to work? I don't know, but I'm going to try. And that's what you need to know. I'm going to try. Okay, let's just jump right into it. I'm literally not going to waste any more freaking time. These will probably be up in full reaction over on my Patreon, as is everything else. If you want to check out Gabby Petito before it pops onto YouTube, all edited and not fun, you can go check that out on my Patreon as well. Other than that, you know where to find me. You can find me at, I'm the spiritual director on just about any platform. There's a big shout out to all of my Patreon members. You guys are great. You guys are amazing. I've been slacking, and I know that I've been slacking, but I'm going to nurture my Patreon a lot more. So I just wanted to say in advance, thank you to everybody that is subscribed over on Patreon. You guys are champs. Anywho, let's jump in. Shalt we? We shout.
I'm excited to fall in love with someone's heart and soul.
There's no better way to find your soulmate than this.
I shouldn't be doing this. I can't. How far did I make it? 55 seconds, guys. 55. That's crazy. And there was one comment. There's no greater way than finding your soulmate than this. That is so false. I don't even know what else would be false, especially because we're 8 seasons into Love is Blind. It'd be drastically different if this was like a first season. We have no idea what the outcome is going to look like. We have no idea what this experiment looks like. Was Love is Blind in season 1? Maybe. Love was maybe blind in season 1, possibly blind. And I'm putting a big emphasis on possibly because I'm a firm believer that it is not blind. There has to be some type of physical attraction. Okay. Love is like a table, right? There are different legs to a table. Without a leg, everything is going to fall off. Okay. It's going to fall apart. Okay. So you have your physical leg, you have your spiritual leg, you have your emotional leg, you have your mental leg, right? So you have all these legs. Physical is one of those. Like, I have to be attracted to you physically. If I'm not attracted to you physically, there is no like, oh, I can force this connection, or, oh, like maybe I can fall in love with you. Like, no, there has to be some type of physical attraction, right? Like, sex is a big deal. And people, like, that's how people are intimate, right? And I can't be intimate with you if I don't find you attractive. Like, that's just rational. It's not shallow. And I'm so tired of hearing people say that it's shallow. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's nothing shallow about having a type. There's nothing shallow about having a preference, right? Because that's all this is. I have a preference, and for most of these people, maybe it hasn't worked out. Maybe my preference is not working out, but it's not because you have the preference. It's because you keep attracting whatever it is that you don't want, because that's all you keep focusing on. I'm gonna say.
It's a huge fire.
What is going on?
They literally had sex within 48 hours of going on this experiment.
I believe he knew exactly what I looked like.
Guys, I'm just trying to get through the introduction.
This is our biggest season yet. And what that means is there are more individuals than ever to choose from.
Okay. Guys, I know. Okay? You don't have to tell me, because I already know. Here's what I will say about Nick and Vanessa Lachey. No. And I say no because I say no because love wasn't blind for you guys. So I don't understand how you can come on here and host a show about love being blind, but it wasn't blind for you. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain they've broken up like 5 times. But like, that's their person. Wrong. I'm such a firm believer that when you find your person, when you find the person that you're meant to journey through this life with, that person is going to ignite something different in you, and you are going to change the world. And I say that mostly because at the very least, you'll be inspired to change the world. Now, will you change the world? You could. I'm a believer that everybody should experience in this lifetime greatness and success and changing the world in whatever way that they can. So I think one of the biggest issues with the show is its hosts. I don't even believe that y'all are in love. I know you're not in love. There's nothing about you guys that screams in love to me. There's nothing about headlines about you guys that screams in love to me. There's nothing about you guys that screams in love other than the fact that you tell us that you're in love every single season, and nothing ever proves that. And then what happens is this is the biggest thing, right? So like, and I don't know, maybe it was season 3 or 4, but at some point everybody was like, why is Lauren and Cam not hosting? Like, they went through the experiment. They know what it feels like to go through this experiment. It made no sense to not have them host, but then also we're fighting against people who just want their 15 minutes. We're fighting against people who know that by coming on the show, people are going to see you. And here's the thing, you are finding love, and that's what's happening with most of them, right? They're finding love, not on the show, possibly because of the show. I'll give it that. Because of the show, they're finding love, but not on the show. Because what's happening is they're coming on Love is Blind, they're getting into these proposals, they're going to the altar, they're saying I don't, and then a year later we find out that they're with somebody else because they saw me on Love is Blind. Like, that's all the credit that I can give to Love is Blind. I can't give Love is Blind any more credit than that. Does that make sense? Truthfully. And Nick and Vanessa are the inherited problem. You're not in love, babe. Take it to the bank. You're not in love. I know love. That's not love. Tim McRae said, I know love. I know love. Also, I want you guys to know that the reason why it's their biggest season is because the more people you have, the more likely you are to have a better turnout. The probability goes up, the numbers skyrocket, right? Like if they're only having 10 people and 5 of those people are getting engaged at the end of the experiment or getting married at the end of the experiment, which is not happening. We're getting like 1 to 2 couples, if that. We're getting like half couples at this point. But if 1 to 2 couples are getting engaged at the end of each experiment, and then you put 20 people in there, you should be doubling your numbers. And they desperately need to double their numbers because every season after the first season has been terrible. Also, I needed to say this because there are couples who have stayed together after the show. And I want to say this, and I really mean this when I say this. You did not stay together because love was blind. You stayed together because you were a part of an experiment and you felt like you needed to make it work. You don't need to make love work. If it feels like work, it is not your relationship. Love just is. It is simple. It is it is simple, okay? It is so simple, but we have made it such a complex thing because we think that it's so out of our grasp and we don't think that we're worthy of it and we don't think that we deserve it. So we have to make it this complex problem because when it's a complex problem, then it makes us feel a little bit better about not feeling deserving of it or worthy of it. But that's not the case here. Everybody is deserving. Everybody is worthy. You just need to unlock that. So what happens is when you go on a show called Love is Blind, you get all the way to the end, you say your I do's, you're absolutely going to stay in that marriage. How can you not? You just told the world that love is blind. You can't go back on your word now. The experiment needs to work. But I promise this experiment doesn't work. It hasn't worked. A working experiment is at least 50% successful, and they are not. Oh. I didn't realize I was going to be this upset, you guys. I apologize. I'm going to let it play for at least 5 minutes.
And if they care about that and they want someone taller, you know,
Then that's not the gal for you.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
Then why are you here if that's not the gal for you? Then you just know it's not the gal for you. You move on, you find somebody else.
Hopefully through that, we figure out what love actually is for each of us.
I've never been in a committed relationship. I'm hoping my...
So why come on Love is... What?
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Ooh, this is a pretty pod.
Where'd you come from?
I came from Mars. I'm really loving Earth so far.
I love that. That's good.
Sorry. It's important for girls sometimes to have a guy that's taller than them. I'm 5'8".
I said I was going to let it play for 5 minutes. I have a lot to say, though.
And who I fell in love with when I was 29 is going to be the same person that I fell in love with when I'm 89.
Wrong. It's not true.
Are you down on a knee?
Wait, hold on. Being, you know, the mother of my children and, you know, building a family together.
Oh, okay, this is a really bad place to stop. But I want to say this. I want to say that I think very often when we're talking to somebody, we get into this habit of I think that when we are meeting somebody new for the first time, we tend to do this very shallow like conversating. And by that, I just mean, what do you look for in a relationship? Do you want to have kids? What's your mom and dad like? What are your mom and dad's names? Do you have siblings? What's your favorite color? Do you have a dog? Do you have a cat? Do you have a turtle? Do you have a snake? Do you have a wabbit? We tend to ask a lot of shallow questions when we're first starting to get to know somebody. And I think that that's interesting because that's not what we fall in love with, I don't think. I think that what we're falling in love with is another person's soul. What's attracting is whatever is in their energy. It's whatever their energy and their aura is putting out. It's not family or, I mean, I don't want to know that stuff. I want to know if you believe in aliens. I want to know if you believe that the stars are really gas or if there are ancestors watching us. I want to know if you love love or you love the idea of love. I want to know what love is to you. What does love mean? Define love for me. That's what I want to know. I want to know if you love yourself. I want to know if you take yourself on dates. I don't want to know if you've dated yourself for a year. Thank you, sister. I want to know a lot of different things about you, but none of them have to do with the superficial, shallow shit. That's the problem. We keep getting stuck on the superficial, shallow, and then all of a sudden, a year in, we're wondering why the superficial, shallow is still the only thing that we're talking about. It's because that's what you fell in love with, remember? You fell in love with that superficial shallowness, and superficial shallow goes away, right? That leaves. Things happen, traumas happen, traumatic pasts happen, people die, people move away. Like, things happen. That's always going to shake the surface and shake the superficialness, right? Things are going to shake the superficial. Nothing can shake the soul. So when you fall in love with somebody's soul versus falling in love with their surface, it's different, right? You don't have to worry so much about falling out of love. And you're not going to be in love with the same person that you met when you're 29 versus the person you're with when you're 89. There's a lot of growth that happens in there. There's a lot of learning about yourself that happens in there. I could fall in love with you at 29, and by the time I'm 30 or 31, I've realized that I'm in love with myself, and who I am is drastically different than who I was a year ago. We have to allow for each other to grow. And I think that's the biggest thing. If I get into a relationship with you, it's not because I love the fact that you love your family. Yes, I love the fact that you love your family. Yes, because I love my own family. But most of it is because I know that there's room for both of us to grow in this relationship. I know that within this relationship, the love that we have is only being added to. It's not that I'm depending on you to love me. Excuse me. It's not that I'm depending on you to love me. It's not that I need you to love me. I love me enough. You're just adding to that. And that, because of that, we grow, and we're always in this euphoric honeymoon stage. And that's where we should be, right? But you don't get that when you're asking superficial questions. We gotta get to the realness. We gotta get to real.
I really enjoyed chatting with you.
I did too, Daniel.
You're the only girl that I've been on a knee for.
If you ever need a colonoscopy, I am your girl.
Being authentic, being your authentic self. That's how you should be.
So that's fired.
I think I will dog you.
Oh no, you're a hooper?
I played and coached Division I college.
Okay, respect.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 34. How about you?
34. I'm 28.
28?
Yeah.
Hold, please.
I was 30, so.
Oh, that.
I always find that question really interesting. Have you ever dated somebody older than you? Have you ever dated somebody younger than you? Yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. Age truly is a number. I understand what you're going to say. You don't even need to say it. Because when we're talking about the fifth dimension, when we're talking about a dimension that we are not even existing in right now, right? We're in the third dimension. When we're talking about the fifth dimension, soul is ageless, right? Ageless. There's no age for the soul. It is the damn soul. How are you going to put an age on that bad boy, right? So the soul is ageless. So you can be 28 dating a 38-year-old or 38 dating a 48-year-old. Like, that does work. It just depends on your soul. Where has your soul been, right? What life have you lived in your past life? I tend to have a very old soul. I tend to connect better with the people who are older than me. A lot of that could be my upbringing. A lot of it can be because I had older siblings, and I was always trying to hang out with my older siblings, and I was always trying to hang out with them and their friends, and I wanted to be a part of the older crowd. And then I just kind of developed that kind of soul. But I think I was born with an old soul as well. My best friend was my grandmother. So yeah, I think that age is always an interesting factor, and that's one of those shallow things, right? That's one of those shallow things that we're talking about. Your age. I feel as though if you're not 20, if you're not 30 and I'm 30, then you haven't lived enough to have enough experience. Like, that's a thing that tends to happen. I think a lot is that we are afraid that you're not experienced enough to be with me, which is wild, because experience is so different for everybody, and everybody is growing consistently. So age is a factor for most relationships.
Not that many, geez.
Like 5.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I actually have a doctorate in healthcare administration.
Okay.
She's a doctor.
So you like basketball?
I love basketball.
Hey, so you can come cheer me on then.
I can.
Everybody's amazing.
Younger than you are.
No, not at all, because I'm learning that maturity has nothing to do with age.
Okay. I like to think so.
Yeah.
I feel like I wrote it.
I feel like if I can make a connection with somebody's soul, I feel like it can last beyond this lifetime.
If I can make a connection with somebody's soul, it can last beyond this lifetime. Well, yes, right? You can have a soulmate, a mate to your soul, and they will travel with you through space and time. over multiple lifetimes. I don't think that you need to go on a show to find your soulmate. I think that what tends to happen is that when we date somebody, right, and we go, okay, I dated them, it didn't work out. And then we realize that we have a type or a preference. Okay, I dated them and it didn't work out. I dated them and it didn't work out. I keep dating the same type of people and it's just not working out. It's not working out because you keep telling yourself it is not working out. Oh, well, you're my type. You're just like the last person. You're just like the last person. You're right. They are just like the last person because that's what you keep attracting. Now, one thing that I want to make very abundant and clear is want versus not want, especially when it comes to the universe, right? When you tell the universe, I want this, and the universe delivers it, it's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And then you say, I don't want that, universe, and they deliver it, and you're like, what the hell? Why are you delivering that? And now you're actually stuck on the thing that they did deliver that you didn't want them to deliver. It's because the universe cannot operate between the words want and don't want. All it hears is want. And what you pay attention to, what you put your mind on, and you leave it there, you are going to continue to attract. I don't want to attract another person that's like my ex. I don't want to attract somebody like my ex. I don't want to attract somebody like my ex. And then all of a sudden you're dating your ex. Yeah, it's because you kept putting your attention on it versus just saying, this is what I want, letting it go and letting the universe deliver it to you because it is already yours, right? Everybody's soulmate is already theirs. There's just like a letting go that needs to happen and letting the universe operate. It's like letting the universe move you on the chessboard, but we're so concerned about where we're moving on the chessboard. What piece are we going up against on the chessboard? Who's still on my team on the chessboard? Like, we're so worried about all of these things that are still on the chessboard that we're not even letting the player play. Yeah, I just used a chess analogy.
I'm excited for it. What's your name?
Monica.
I am Joey.
I'm nervous.
Oh my God, they're the same energy.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Monica.
I constantly have music playing.
What type of music do you like?
Everything but country.
I don't like country.
I love country music.
I love it. 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 I love it.
It's like something about a truck.
In my truck just got broken up.
Yes.
Gonna slam a beer.
I can name at least 4 or 5 songs right now. I can name at least half of Tim McGraw songs that have nothing to do with trucks or being heartbroken, right? Some of the best music I've ever heard, some of the most high frequency music, believe it or not, is country music, right? Tim McGraw makes some of the best country music. Garth Brooks made great country music. And a lot of those, country music it does tend to be sad sometimes. It does. And there is a lot of drinking involved in the country music. However, I don't think it's not all about this, right? Sam Hunt come on. I don't want to steal your freedom. I just want to take your time. Come on. He said, I just want you to give me a chance. So it's not all about that. We gotta give country music a chance, guys. We have to do better. That's your guys' task for this video. Drop a country song below that you actually enjoy.
Like, the guys are like crying and the woman's like going to murder you.
Yeah.
So false.
I got a girl crush.
Like, grab one of my friends and we'll start swing dancing.
So it could be country.
Yes,
Yes,
you
I
actually
know how to
swing dance?
Oh my God.
I used to swing dance
Really?
every single Wednesday.
Am I tripping, or is swing dancing not like... I'm aware that it's not like inherently like country music, but like you swing dance to country music. Am I tripping?
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Well, so I have a little fun fact, which
Okay,
I think
let's
you'll
hear
like this. So my dad is from Chile, South America.
Okay.
I have
Awesome.
I hate the cuts because like, where did she take that? She said, I think you're gonna like this, but like that's all she said.
And he just was done. That's all I got. I still to this day don't know what happened.
Nobody owes you an explanation.
We know. Never worked out, and it's exhausting.
Because you keep saying nothing works out.
Before you even get a chance.
We gotta stop doing that, guys. We gotta stop manifesting this stuff.
So drastically different to hopefully give me a chance to start the race.
You don't need something traumatically different or drastically different in order to get to where you want to be. You don't need that. Like, that's not a requirement to get to where you need to go, right? You don't need to take the hard way. You don't need to go the long route. You don't have to do that. We choose to do that because we have so much disfaith, lack of faith. We have such a lack of faith in the universe and what it's providing for us that we assume that we have to take the long route and we have to go the hard way, and something traumatic has to happen for us to wake up. Something traumatic has to happen for us to wake up. Something traumatic has to happen for us to wake up, when that's not the case here. You don't have to do that. It's just what you keep telling yourself you have to do, so then you keep attracting that trauma into your life. And then by the time you're done with the trauma, you're too exhausted to even get to the next avenue or to get to the next venture. It's like, come on.
What's your name?
Monica.
Monica, why are you here? What's wrong with you?
Probably a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that was funny.
What? What's wrong?
Yeah, I don't think that's funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny, okay?
Tucks, you know, butt lifts.
Hello.
Hello. That has affected.
Here's my thing, and this is one of my biggest beefs with Love is Blind, is that, okay, you wanted to confront yourself, like, you wanted to confront that, which obviously you're not doing, right? Because even, like, joking or not, like, you're going in saying, well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, that's, okay. But besides that, my biggest gripe with Love is Blind is that there's nobody on this show specifically to counsel these people. There's nobody explaining to him that it's okay to have a physical attraction to somebody who's natural, which is, I'm assuming, what he's getting ready to say, right? He's around all of the Botox and the butt lifts and the face lifts and da-da-da-da-da, so he doesn't feel like he's attracted, because it's like, I know that you're not natural. It's okay to not be attracted to somebody who's not natural. That's a preference. It's okay if people have that preference. Now, what needs to happen, though, is we got to look internally, which means that you're not okay with something within yourself. That's a projection. I don't like the way you look, or what's wrong with you, is really you asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stay in the relationship? Why can't I commit? Why don't I find you attractive? It's a lot of what's wrong with me that we tend to project and say what's wrong with you, and it's not actually ever really them. It's usually really just us, right? And I don't like that nobody is there to help him through this situation. Nobody is there to guide him and say, hey, let's get to the root of why you feel like you've been an asshole to women. Like, what is that? Is that truly because you feel like they're fake? They don't deserve it? Like, what is that? Where is that stemming from? But nobody's here to help him through that. Nobody's here to coach him through this. He's just kind of got to figure it out on his own, or hopefully Nick and Vanessa help him.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive.
Oh my God.
See what I mean?
You in danger, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I just have, and that obviously has not worked.
Right.
I really don't want to be that way at all.
I believe him when he says he doesn't want to be that way. I do believe that. He's just seeking help. And he unfortunately thought that Love is Blind is going to be the place that you get that help. And it's just not. It's not meant for that. It's not built to help you with your serious, deep-rooted things that you want to work through. I believe him when he says he doesn't want to see the world that way. I believe him when he says he doesn't want to see women that way. But he's like, he doesn't know how to see them any different, and nobody's here saying, this is how we do that. This is how we take the steps to do that, right?
It says, like, the greatest thing a father can do for their kids is love their mother.
The greatest thing that a father can do for his kids is love himself. Oh my gosh. Oh, sometimes I realize how insane I sound, but it's the truth. No, yes. Okay, don't get me wrong. Yes, right? Loving their mother is important. It's very important. I do believe that my dad loved my mom for to this day, I still think that my dad loves my mom. Now, I do think that for me, I would have benefited more seeing his self-love, because then I would know how to do it for myself. I wouldn't have to I wouldn't have had to go down the route that we were just talking about, right? You don't have to go through the hardest route. It's not necessary. But I had to go through the hardest route to find self-love and to find myself and to see myself, because I didn't see that within my parents. It's not because they didn't love each other. I believed that my parents loved each other, but I believe that it's really hard to love somebody else if you do not love yourself. And that would have been better for me to witness as a child growing up, learning how to love myself, learning how to feel for myself, learning how to see who I was, rather than, oh, mom and dad love each other. Like, that's cool. Because then at the end of the day, it's like, yes, they love each other, but like, I'm also seeing them miserable and I don't understand it, right? Like, how could you be in love and miserable at the same time? Because you're not happy within yourself. You don't love yourself. So the best thing a father can do, the best thing anybody can do for their relationship, for their kids, for their friends, for anybody looking in, is love themselves. Love yourself. You deserve it, right? So love yourself. Give the love that you are so desperately trying to give to somebody else and find from somebody else to yourself.
I've seen really good examples of it, and I just like want that.
How was it? It was good.
Babes, we have to love us first. Do you love you? Do you love you?
Yeah.
I really like you.
Thank you.
Everyone is a 7.
Everyone is a 7. And I just don't love the idea that we're all dating the same people. This is not realistic. This does not happen in society. When they have to show us that they are feeding them.
She just appears to be just a little bit ghetto to me. A little bit ghetto, you know, a little bit hood.
Again,
Yeah.
if the intellectual connection and the emotional intelligence is not there, I cannot like be there with you physically.
Thanks for proving my point. If the intellectual and the emotional and like you have to drive something deep out of me, but there's still a physical there, right? Those things might add to my physical attraction of you. It might add to the fact that I like you and I think that you're physically attractive, right? But like there still has to be just a physical attraction. Like we've got to stop pretending that there's not physical attraction in every relationship, right?
And nerdy and weird, and people didn't talk to me. I had like this big afro. I had braces.
Excuse me. He looks like the guy from Pitch Perfect. The weird one, Benji.
I've got the magic in me.
Now that I
One thing about Love is Blind that I gotta give them credit for is their music is always hitting.
Until then, the next summer, I went and lived in the Middle East.
Oh, she's free. That's why she's not in a relationship. She's too free. She gotta find somebody who's just as free as her.
She was really surrounded by a lot of drugs, and I also actually lost my stepdad when I was in 8th grade to a drug.
Jesus. She's meant to tell a story. She is meant to teach people.
I love her. I have a lot of compassion for her.
She have 111 tattooed on her. That's why she wanted to. She might be one of the ones that want an actual deep connection.
That's a lot, and I'm sure it has changed you a lot and
Yeah,
turned you into the person that you are.
for sure.
I don't think that it changes us. I think that it just makes us grow. We just grow. It's not necessarily change that's occurring. I think it's growth that's occurring, right? It's not something, this is always who she was meant to be. She was meant to live this life for reasons that, we'll find out. She was clearly meant to tell her story, right? Because she's here, she's telling us her story. So she was very much born and raised and meant by the universe, raised by the universe to tell her story. And so I don't think it's so much as I'm sure that really changed you as a person versus I'm sure that really made you have to grow. Like you were forced to grow. You were no longer able to be content in the life that you were living. And I give her props because it's not easy to grow when you're not expecting it or when you're not ready to. When you were just kind of catapulted into growth, granted, it's hard to say that you're not ready to because you wouldn't be catapulted if you weren't ready, right? Like everything happens for a reason. So I think that she's definitely one of the ones, but she was one of the ones, she was the girl that said, if you're not stimulating me intellectually and emotionally, then I don't want to have a conversation with you, which makes sense. She's probably somewhere, because I see that she's got the 111 tatted. So it makes sense.
was like relentlessly bullied. I was beat up in the hallway. Oh my gosh.
I'm a painter.
Madison.
Most people who have unlocked something in their youth or, you know, when they're younger, most of the time they're going to have a creative outlet. They're going to have something, right? Writing, directing, drawing, painting, I don't know. Most of them are going to have a creative outlet because when you're connected the way that, you know, somebody is to the universe and you're getting these downloads and you're receiving this and you're so filled with emotion, you have to find a way to release that and let it out. It's like packing in a bottle and you just keep shoving things into the bottle. Eventually it's gonna, you know, it's gonna blow up, or, you know, it's gonna overflow, right? And it's no different with somebody who is an empath or who is connected spiritually. When you get so many emotions, and people are drawn to you in that aspect, right? People love you because of what you give them, because of that energy, because of the connection that you have with Source. Because of that, they love you. And then the discernment obviously has to come in, right? You love me, or you love the fact that I can love you, whatever the case may be. But when you're dealing with everybody's emotions, you have to find a way to release those and come back into realignment. So it makes sense that she's a painter, especially because she's dealt with a lot in her past, right? Even her saying, you know, I had to find a way to like give her some grace, and I had to be gentle with her because, like, you know, that's just, and it's probably just who she is. Hallelujah.
I'm excited to keep talking to you. I really like you, and I think you're awesome.
Thanks. The feeling is very mutual.
He seems like he would get a little bit codependent. He'd be a little bit like he would become a little bit too dependent on her too quickly.
Really, really, really good.
Dude, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Oh.
Who's this?
I think it's so funny, bro, when they do this. Cinematographer! I think it is so funny when they do this. One of them is just head over heels, and then the other one is going on a second date. That doesn't happen. That is not... That's not realistic, okay? It's just not. That's not how this works, okay? If I am walking on the street and I meet the love of my life and we connect and I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God, I want to be with you, right? Like, if that happens, I'm not going on another date. Like, that's not happening. All of my energy is now right here because I know this is where my energy is supposed to be. You just know. It's so inherent. I can't even make this up. I can't even make it up, gentlemen, ladies, thems, theys, and the gays. I cannot make this up, okay? It is so inherent in you that you're like, I actually don't need to go talk to anybody else because it's you.
Make commercials and documentaries around the world.
Awesome.
I really love what I do.
Are you guys expecting me to say something because he's a cinematographer? Because I'm not gonna.
Do you have any nicknames, Madison?
My friends call me Mads.
Yeah, come on. Even I knew that.
I am a huge backer.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's a huge green flag.
I just don't love green flag, red flag, because a lot of you guys are missing the red flags.
I'm still very close with my mom and my dad and my sister.
I guess I'm just bored, maybe. I was like, why am I not talking? I guess I'm just like, there's not really much to say about it.
Oh?
Yeah. I really like that we got really deep here.
Yeah.
Our definition of getting deep is also changed, or changing, I would say. I think that getting deep is just being personal, right? Like, that to people is getting deep, but I think that, like, I don't know. And I think that this show, it's always tough too because you know that you're getting so many different cuts and edits because you can't just run 10 hours of footage. But I just think that the definition of getting deep, like, what does that mean that we're getting deep with each other? Like, how are we connecting? In what world? Because you would assume that they would get deep creatively, right? Like, that's where it would be, like, their dreams, their aspirations, their goals, what they want to do. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I don't think that that's ever a bad thing to ask anybody at any age. What do you want to be when you grow up? Like, I think that there's so many things that we did as kids that we don't do as adults, but as kids we had it figured out, right? What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a firefighter. What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a doctor. Like, you still ask kids that, and now the answers are changing, right? Oh, I want to be a YouTuber. Oh, I want to be a video gamer. Oh, I want to be this. I want to be that. So it's just like, we have to really define what getting deep is, because being personal no longer is satisfying getting deep. You can be personal and not get deep enough. I digress.
Let's talk about aliens for a quick sec. Superior beings.
Yeah.
Just like experimenting with us like we experiment with ants.
He's not ready for her. And let me tell you why he's not ready for her. She is asking questions. She is asking questions that are so far past his capacity. She's asking, like, she's thinking about, like, I knew as soon as she said aliens. I knew. She's very curious. She's very free. She wants to know. She wants to know things, so she's asking questions, which is a beautiful thing, right? We love people who ask questions because you want to get to the bottom of it. You want the truth, right? You want to know the truth. And so even like this tapping in and understanding your ability in spirituality is such a big deal. So for her to be on that level, he's just not ready for that. I just want you guys to know this. He's not ready for her. She's so polar opposite. That's what she's saying. Can he joke with me? Because she's oh my God, she's the energy that we all want in a relationship, right? I want to feel like I'm a kid again. That's the goal in my relationship, right? I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be worried about things. I want to be so fucking free that I feel like I'm a kid again. And she gives off that energy. And you have to be a very particular person. You have to be very open, very free. And you would think that he is as a cinematographer, but I'm hearing that he's doing commercials and documentaries. It'd be different if he was doing cinematography for movies, because then you're going into a world that's been created and you can brighten out your kind of mindset, right? Like, that's the reason why I love filmmaking. It's because when I write, I get to go into these different worlds and I get to experience different things, and my mind is being stretched, and I'm being able to connect with Source differently, and Source is able to show me things. And that's what's happening with her, right? She's stretching her mind and she's stretching her awareness and stuff, and he's just kind of he's here when she's all the way up here.
I truly believe in hell and think I'm going there, and I feel so bad that I give them that anxiety.
The reason why she's saying, I feel bad that I'm doing that to them and I'm giving them that anxiety, is because she doesn't believe in it. She's like, I understand that, like, that's what you guys believe in, so that's your belief system, but I don't believe in that, so I know I'm not going to hell because you think that I am. I feel bad for you because you think that I am, based off of my choices. It makes sense that she's not religious. Listen to how she's speaking. You can't be religious and ask those types of questions. You have to be so far from religion and only have a connection with higher source, and I'm sure she does, but you have to have such a high connection with source and stray from religion, because there's still confinement even in religion. There are still questions you can't ask even in religion. I grew up in a Christian household. I did go to church, and I strayed from the church, and I could quite literally care less what anybody in my family thinks about my religious or lack thereof religious beliefs, because I know who I am, and I know that I have a connection with Source, God, higher self, whatever you want to call it, right? So because I have that connection, I'm secure in my beliefs. My beliefs are my beliefs, just like yours are yours. I'm not going to sit here and try to change your belief system. There's going to be some things that resonate with you that I say, and there are going to be things that resonate with other people. And there are going to be things that you're like, what? No, babes. And Even when you say, what? No, babes. I'm not going to sit here and be upset with you for disagreeing with me. We have a difference of opinion. We have a difference of religion. I don't believe in it. You might, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's whatever makes your soul feel good, right? I'm just a firm believer that I got to get to the truth. I need to know what the truth is. And I don't get those answers in religion.
To have like a day when we get back to like spill all the details that we aren't telling each other now.
I know.
This environment just breeds secrecy because you don't want to tell somebody who you're feeling, because what if they're feeling them, and like what if they choose them, and like why wouldn't you tell me if you're also feeling him? Like, we're supposed to be girls here. But a lot of the times what you're going to run into is that they are not girls. And the ones that are girls are telling them everything.
You invite a devil or spirit in, you could have that happen to you.
Don't do it.
Just like my girlfriend from high school.
Really?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Why? What did he say? Oh, imagine you're like, it's such a good date. He was so nice. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he said, you remind me of my girlfriend from high school because she used to talk like you. I don't want to be compared to okay, you know what? I'm sorry, that wasn't even me. I had to come downstairs to talk for a second. My bad. Going back upstairs.
If you're in love with someone, you should want to like make them happy.
Please tell me that was just a really terribly edited cut, because absolutely not. If you're in love with someone, you should want to make them happy. Wrong.
He was so
wrong. If you're in love with somebody, that no. And here's, I think, what the biggest misconception is that there's some type of sacrifice or compromise that you have to make in a relationship. And I say that because everybody says that, right? That is like the traditional saying, right? Well, when you love somebody, you compromise. When you love somebody, you sacrifice. That's not true. That is not true. When you love the person that is meant for you, right? When you love your person and your person loves you, there's no compromise there. We are both who we are, and we don't have to compromise anything because this is exact and it is what is meant to be based off of what was set for me. Right? And so I just think that that's such an interesting thing to say. Also, you should want to make them happy. Wrong. It's not my responsibility to make you happy. No, you're going to put that burden on me, especially when it comes to something like sex. That was definitely going to be without me.
Happy enough to have sex, that was definitely going to be without me.
Especially when it comes to something like sex. No. If I want to have sex with you, it's because I want to have sex with you because I'm so attracted to you, and that's how I want to be intimate with you, right? And there are multiple ways of intimacy. I think kissing somebody is a lot more intimate than having sex. That's just me being honest. You know, me and my sisters had a conversation yesterday about how when you're kissing somebody, you're literally swapping everything that's in their mouth. Okay, that's pretty intimate. And so the moral of what I was saying was, the moral of what I'm saying is this: when you're in a relationship, there's no such thing as compromise if it's your relationship. If it is the right relationship. And yes, there is such thing. When you attract your person, that love that feels too good to be true, which my sister now says it's so good and it's true. When you attract that type of love, you start to see things like, oh, I don't have to compromise. I don't have to give a piece of myself. I don't have to do that. We're just adding and growing together, right? Everything we do, if we get married, it's because we thought it'd be so fun to get married. Like, wouldn't it be so fun? Like, because that'd be so funny if like we just popped up and we were like married. Like, that's what it should feel like. It should feel like little kid love. It should feel like little kid in an arcade having the time of their life love.
In your romantic relationships from how your parents loved you as a kid. That's your vision of love, and like that's what you're looking for.
I disagree. I think that love is not a learned thing. I think that love just is. And I say that because somebody who had a terrible upbringing, somebody who may not have ever seen love still can love. Okay, they can still love, right? You can learn by the lack of love, right? I learned more in the lack of love that my exes could not give me than the love that they did give me, because I learned how to fill that love with my own version, with my love for myself, right? Like, so I don't think that you learn love through parents. I don't think that it's something, again, I don't think that it's learned, right? It's nurtured. I think that's a better way of saying it. I had to nurture the love that my exes couldn't give to me, right? So I think it's more of a nurturement. Did I make up that word? Possibly. Do I care? No. I think that you can nurture love. I don't think that it's something that you learn. I don't have to learn how to love, right? I think that it's something that oftentimes we confuse, but I think it's also something that oftentimes we have to really ask ourselves, is this external or internal? And most of the time you'll find that external factors are contributing to the way that you internally feel about love, right? So I'm watching people, right? Which is what I said in the beginning of this with Nick and Vanessa, right? That external version of love contributes to our internal, or the guest's internal versions of love, right? Like, oh, like that's what love is supposed to look like. So it's going to translate. And now that's what I'm looking for. But that's not the case here, right? We need to do more internal work here. How would I love somebody? How do I want to be loved? And loving myself like that. I just went like 7 different ways, but I got to the point.
What was your sister's advice for you coming on this?
She wasn't super thrilled.
Okay.
I think she even said that. She was just like, I don't think any of those girls are good enough for you. Like,
Yeah.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Did the sister really say that? It's an interesting thing to say, especially when you don't know them.
I journaled about you last night.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Your name may be in my journal as well.
My prediction is that she's not going to find him very attractive.
Damn!
Money. How are you with money?
Very, very good.
Okay.
Please don't be like, what's his name, where he had so much debt. And she was like, wait, you got debt, bruh? She said, wait, you got debt?
I think I'm actually gonna faint.
when you go on vacation, what do you like to do?
There was a year that me and a couple friends did like a little Mexico trip together.
Where's my dad? I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't care about this couple.
You were never like low on my list.
He's finna go save this soul girl. Tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Molly, I like you.
Yeah, I like you
a
too.
lot.
Electric chair.
Please cut to where he just said this to Lauren.
Who are you talking to? Oh yeah, it's like going really well.
Moods.
About this person, or you?
No, like I'm not confused, but being reminded that he had other dates today, that just didn't feel good.
Well, no, because it's not normal. This is what like I have, and I haven't paused and talked in a long time, so I'm very happy that I have today, right now, in this moment. But this is what's so frustrating, right? Like, it's harder to continue to build on a connection when you know that this person is for a fact seeing other people versus in reality. When we make a connection with somebody and there's an immediate connection, first of all, I said it before and I'll say it again. When I got a connection with you and I know you're my person and you know you're my person, I ain't talking to nobody else. There's no reason to, right? However, well, let's just say that we're still trying to figure out who our people are. And I have a connection with you. In the real world, when I have a connection with you, I know that if we decide that there's a connection here and we've decided like, okay, like, yep, there's a connection. I don't need to talk to anybody else, right? I know like there's a security in that, right? And this is just me speaking relationshiply in like relationship in reality. Spiritually different, but realistically, right? It's like, okay, like there's a connection here. We're not gonna ruin that. Like we want to build on this connection. We want to see where it goes. But what's happening here is we're building connection, and then it's like, I know for a fact that you're building connections with other people. So there's still, in my mind, that doubt of like, am I good enough? This is just a show that breeds more insecurity, because it's like when you're connecting with other people and you choose that person, and I thought that we were good. Oh my God, how am I ever supposed to think that I'm worthy of anything? This show breeds more harm than it does good. Genuinely speaking, like I don't even like it. Naturally doesn't even make sense.
Well, fuck you, Dave. Got it.
And then they cut in the fucking music. Oh, this is such a shit show.
What the hell we gonna do now?
Oh shit. Yeah, like that is natural. That's gonna happen. People are gonna end up in a position to where it's like, who are you dating? Oh, I don't know if I'm comfortable telling you who I'm dating. And then I find out who you're dating, and you're dating the same person that I'm dating, but now I'm uncomfortable with you, but you don't even know why I'm uncomfortable with you, but it's because we're dating the same person. But realistically, is it our fault or is it his fault? Because technically he's the one that keeps saying all the right things to me, and he's apparently saying all the right things to you because you think that you have a husband and I think that I have a husband, if neither of us has this husband because he hasn't proposed to either of us. I mean, it makes sense, right? Oh my God, Love is Blind is gonna give me an aneurysm one day, because it just doesn't, like, it's not, this is not how you conduct this experiment. And I know what you're gonna say, well, if you can do it better, do it. I will. I plan to. Because this just isn't it. This isn't it. I think that there are so many things that they're trying to get right? Like they're trying to work on themselves. They're trying to find love. They're trying to do it. They think this is the right way. So because of that, it's kind of like breeding in this environment of a lot of trying and no actual doing. It reminds me of my sister telling me the story about a track coach who said, you're doing a lot of this, but you're not getting anywhere. And it's true, right? They're doing a lot of this, but it's not going anywhere because we're right back in the same position. Or if not, we're worse off than we were before we even came to the show, because now not only do I feel like I'm unworthy of love, I feel like I can't trust anybody, because every girl that I was in the pods with was like, not telling me the truth. So it's just like, I feel like the show just does so much more harm than it does good, genuinely speaking. As somebody who has nurtured love, and as somebody who has written about it, and as somebody who still writes about it and plans to write just epic love stories, as somebody who is a creative and who has had to kind of tap into that spirituality and tap into that energy and have a connection with source, love can, like I said, and I'll continue to say it, and you'll hear me say it throughout this entire series, it can feel so complex because we make it feel that way. It doesn't have to be that way. I promise you it doesn't have to be that way. People always say, you know what, we haven't fought, so it might be too good to be true. Or, you know what, we're fighting, but that's just a part of it. No, it is not. That is not a part of love. None of what is happening right now, what I'm seeing, is a part of love. This is not natural, right? And love is so natural, and it's so pure, and it's so authentic that if any part of you is holding back, which you are, you're holding back what you look like. Now love can't even do what it needs to do, because it's like, well, I still don't even have all of you. I don't get all of you. The reason why I'm attracted to you is because I'm getting all of you. What you look like, what you sound like, what you feel like, what you make me feel like, the way you articulate your words, the way that your energy is, how happy you are, how much love you have to give. Like, I'm getting all of you. You're still holding back here. And that's usually the problem with love, right? Is we hold back just enough because we don't know. There's an uncertainty. I could get hurt here. Welcome. But the best part about it is you're not getting hurt. Your ego is getting hurt, and you feel that rejection, and then that decides how you choose to act after that. But realistically, when your soul finds its counterpart, you'll know. You will know. You don't need to continue to go on dates. You'll know. And that's why I have beef with Love is Blind. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you stayed the whole time, thank you so much. I appreciate you because you loved it. If you stayed the whole time and you hated it, I still appreciate you because you stayed the whole time. Guys, I'm working on it. I know what I said. I said I was going to get through 3 episodes. I lied, okay? I got to go do things. But nothing is more important than getting you this episode right now. So I'm going to do that as well. I appreciate you. Obviously, this is kind of where my head is at right now. I think that I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do my best to watch 2 episodes next time so that I can give you 2 episodes back to back, because I know that there are so many episodes in the season. I'm trying to get you guys more. So rather than release 1 episode at a time for 14 episodes or however many, I'd like to release like 5 videos at a time. Or 5 videos with 3 episodes each, right? So yeah. Anyways, like I said at the beginning of the video, love lessons are now open. I just want everybody to experience love the way that love is meant to be experienced. And that is why I'm such a critique. That is why I'm so critical about stuff like this. Any real love dating reality shows, I'm really critical about, you know what I mean? And that's just, I can say that I've been single for quite some time now because I had to nurture that love within myself, and I'm doing the damn thing, right? I'm happy. I'm in love with my life. I'm in love with myself. I'm in love with the things that I get to do, the people I get to be around. And so that's what I just want for you. And I want that for you. And I hope that if you're not doing it with me, you are doing it without me. You know what I mean? I really hope that you guys are touching that surface and you guys get to feel what love feels like. And I'm working on the movies that get to inspire you and to help you feel what love feels like. I'm working on it, guys. I promise I'm working on it. I have not forgotten about you. I am here if ever you need anything. I am here. Yeah. If you want to know anything more, if you want to see this uncut, as always, it's over on Patreon. You can find me on pretty much any social media platform at I Am the Spiritual Director. If you want to start following the company that I have, that's going to be Love Lord Legacy Studios. It's a film studio. We're working on a lot of things, movies, TV shows. Because did you honestly believe I was going to stop at just writing them? Or watching them? Come on. So Love Lord Legacy Studios on pretty much any social media platform. That'll take you over to anything that I have done, anything that I'm in the works of. Yeah, and we're always looking for talented people who want to showcase their talent, who are in love with life and the vision. So with that being said, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and above all else, I love you.